Welcome to Curious Chimps Podcast. I'm your co-host, Nathaniel Pearl.
And I'm Sami Sheva.
And welcome.
We here at Curious Chimps are law-abiding citizens. We do not endorse anything illegal. And anything we discuss is for entertainment and not information purposes. We are not experts, and nor do we claim to be. So please, consult doctors, do your research, read the label, and for the love of all that is holy, be safe. All right, let's talk about drugs.
Curious Chimps.
Sir.
What's up, brother?
Bruh.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
You mods, you son of a bitch. Oh, fuck, that way that's two different sorts of references.
Dude,
We mixed them up.
that was brutal.
Oh, so we have a video of that now. Like the thing.
We're gonna get it into a GIF.
Oh, fuck, I hope so.
Curious
Okay,
Chimps. Let's talk about drugs. That's good.
Kills me every time.
Yeah, man.
Dude, I'm like showing that to friends. Like, I love our intro,
Let's
man.
talk about drugs.
Okay, let's talk about drugs. I can't wait for people to like they'll listen to 1, 2, or 3. Like, I guess not one there, but like then they'll listen to Mark's and they'll be like, oh, he said it.
That's where it
he
started.
got it. Yeah.
Fuck, if only we knew that. I think we did because we spoke about it in that podcast, saying it was going to be the first time we're going to use this. I don't know
and then, like,
did we mention that?
Maybe I think we discussed it. Like will we or won't we just copy paste it into the beginning of all of them, kind of thing?
I hope so, because if like the hardcore listeners will catch on. Oh fuck, it's true. This is where it started.
They did it. It's like time traveler. Like they did it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And you just go back to the previous ones, like, oh fuck.
Which one was Mark then? Like.
It's coming out on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's 13.
Number 13.
Yeah.
And then we got right after that we got Trip Report coming out.
What?
So not the same day, the week after. So Ayahuasca Vipassana, which was
oh, that was a good one.
Yeah. Then
Okay. Well, they're gonna have listened to it already. Yeah, this is confused. This is just okay.
This is a little bit of a mindfuck.
No, I don't want to think about the viewers. Fuck you, viewers who can see me now. You sons of bitches.
We love you though.
I fucking love you.
Sabi,
Hey,
what's up? What's cooking?
life's weird, man. Everything's going really well,
Nice.
and I just feel stronger emotionally, and I'm afraid. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
like, who's gonna die? Like, what's the next test? You know, like my life's been pretty easy, and then it got all crazy, and I was like, wah. But like, understandably, like I'm not undermining or underappreciating my own pain. But now there's a girl in my life. She's awesome. Maya, if you're listening,
Yeah,
you
shout
better
out
be
to Maya.
listening.
Shout out to Maya.
Yeah. My job's dope.
Nice.
It's like a little challenging and a little easy, so it's just like that sweet spot where I can like figure it out and then like have fun with it. And they do a lot of charity work, and it's a cool place to work. And I don't know, like I'm just struggling to find discipline and like do the little things I want to do in my day now, and that's like a great problem to have. I'm just like, okay, how do I utilize the gym? You know what's funny today? I was like meditating in the metro, and I just have these little pocket meditations, and I'm trying to like meditate a little bit all the time. And it's not the same as just sitting down, and I finally realized why. Like, when you inevitably get distracted and get pulled away from your, like, into your thoughts or into whatever is like, you know, aversion craving that just not nudges your attention away from your breath, your body, whatever the fuck. It's so much harder to realize. It's like you get knocked back 2 layers instead of just one. If you get knocked back 1 layer, then you kind of catch yourself. The practice gets a little deeper in the one time you're sitting down, and more as you go, like in the week or in the month or the year or whatever. But then I realized I'm in the metro, and I'm like, I didn't notice that I went away. I didn't notice that I got off track. You don't always notice right away, and then like we joke about it, you know, like 10 minutes later you're like, oh fuck, and then you're like,
you catch on.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
But I realized that I really now have a left brain like explanation for why you should sit down and meditate.
Nice.
It's just like,
yeah, man.
I called it a bubble in one of the other podcasts. Like,
It is.
It's important to just sit in this like controlled environment, this little thing. And that's why they tell you like same place and same time every day.
Keep your spot. Meditate in that spot. Grow. I've never done that.
We're just monkeys.
Yeah.
Just routine.
But you know what it is, man? After Vipassana, I'll be very honest, I haven't meditated. I tried, and I haven't had the urge.
That's surprising. Well,
Yeah, I don't know why, but so I served rape a few days ago, and then
I need some of that shit.
dude, I only done it twice since Vipassana. Like I've just been in this like neutral state where everything's good, and I'm like, I don't need to even poke at this. Like just flow with this feeling.
It's just maintenance, I guess.
I guess, but like
every now and then.
So we did the rap day. Like I served her, and then she served me after, and I'm like, I was knocked into like that day 7, day 8 of Vipassana feeling, just like vibration, you know. And I'm just sitting there for like 30 minutes with a smile.
Oh, just
you know,
like just space in your body, like the light, like you just feel good.
Yeah.
You don't, and like the pain might be there, something might be weird, but you're just like, you're okay with it.
Yeah, and it's like there's no label to what you're feeling. So we're talking about it now. I'm trying to label it, but in the moment, it's like it's neither good nor bad. It's just is.
But the isness, like that Muji talks about, that's good.
Yeah, that's so great.
Like you accepting the good and the bad, that's its own thing. But being in that isness is dope as fuck. And it's funny because I talked about it today. This guy, I've mentioned him a few times now, but the guy at my work, his name's Robin. Like these two guys, Chris and Robin, they're from Ontario, but they just came in to like do like the training with us. And I mean, I love them both. They're hilarious and awesome. But like Robin, me and him get along, you know, like I want him on the podcast, but like he lives in fucking Ontario and he's like leaving in a week or something, so it's a shame. But he told me today, it was really cool. He's like, dude, give me your number or something, like you're a cool guy. Like he kind of reached out a little, and I was mid conversation and I just kind of kept going. I didn't acknowledge it, and I kind of felt bad. I feel bad now.
Oh, you didn't exchange numbers?
No.
Okay.
Like we can still find ways to communicate with each other and then like get to that point, so I'm not worried about it. But I just had this little like ego, like continue what I'm saying because I'm gonna forget it because I'm a bit of a stoner kind of thing. You know. So yeah. Okay. I noticed for the first time today. I mean, sometimes he goes to smoke and he comes back, he's like a little relaxed, a little more chill, but like he didn't strike me as a shy person at all. But today I realized he might be like a really sensitive guy, and he just I don't know, he's very interesting. But then to him, he seems like he's like, I'm not interesting. It's like, dude, what are you talking about?
You say that a lot, man.
Well, I don't. You know, I mean, like you say it about me a lot, and I'm like, nah. Like I don't meet a lot of like super humble people or something. But like this guy honestly thinks he's boring, and it's like, dude, you almost became a tequila sommelier. You were a bodybuilder for a while, like legit.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Ding dong.
It's Santa Claus. Anyway. It'd be funny if he double booked and like someone's like, we gotta do his podcast. What else did he do? And now he's like a beer like connoisseur. Like he has his own podcast. I didn't fucking get the name of it. Okay,
you gotta
shouted it out. Yeah, I'll shout it out.
If you see him again or something, try to get in contact. We can work with this guy, hear his brain one day or something. Who knows?
I'd love to have him on the podcast. He's so
in
humble.
Ontario. It's not that far.
And then we were talking about chakras and stuff, and he bought like his girlfriend's like deep into that stuff, and he like started getting into it because of her interest.
Cool.
And he bought her like these crystal sound bowls.
Okay.
And I'm like, that must be like $300, and he was like, yeah, kind of like sort of like around there.
I don't know if I can get on the crystal bandwagon, but I'm down to hear him out.
No, but like if you can get on the sound bandwagon,
I agree
then you can get on the crystal bowl bandwagon.
Yeah.
Like my other friend, the guy who got me to go to India, Christopher, not the one that Robin and Chris, not other people. This guy, Chris Ailing, man, I fucking love this guy. I don't. If he's ever gonna listen to this, dude, I love you. You're the reason I am me. Like nice. A lot of the reason I'm me now.
Nice.
But he was telling me about a friend of his. I'm gonna try to remember this correctly because it doesn't make any sense to me, and I'm just ranting right now for some reason. We don't have a lot of time. This is just fun. Like we're just testing the video thing, I guess. But his friend had a bed made of quartz crystal, or at least there were like the bottom had like a bunch of quartz crystal or something. So like the sound that you would input around would like, was that the baby? Okay. I was like, did someone die? So so then the speakers to like they would play like crazy music, and I mean I assume they were on a bunch of drugs, but that wasn't part of his story, so I'm just throwing that in there just to make it better. But it already sounds amazing. So imagine you're on a bed of quartz, and then these speakers are held together magnetically. So the speaker, like the sound, none of the components are touching each other.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's no loss of sound like through the material, like through the stuff. There's no vibration. There's nothing kick like a car, you know, like screws a little loose. Nothing like that at all. So the sound was like crystal fucking clear and crystal, pun not intended, but like you're literally on a bed of crystal and you're just like vibrating into the fucking ether.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You put on some like binaural beats or something.
I hope so.
Yeah, just the whole place is shaking.
Don't you kind of need headphones for binaural beats though?
I mean, if you have that kind of sound quality and the fucking crystal layout, I'm pretty sure.
Just crank it anyway.
Yeah, just crank it. It's just a giant headphone.
Well.
But let's get back to that point you mentioned, because that's huge, and that's kind of where I wanted to go with this talk today. It was about Robin, or was it Chris that you were talking to?
Robin was, dude. He's got a beard down to his fucking solar plexus. Yeah,
so
such a cool guy.
What he sees from himself.
No offense, Chris. I like you too, man. Paisan.
But what you see when you were talking to him, and like he has all these things going for him, and he just doesn't see it. You know, it's just like, yeah, I guess. You know? It's like that self-talk that we all have. It's like we don't notice anything we do that's good. You know, it's just like...
I didn't see that in him. He seemed like such a positive guy. Like, honestly, when he said it, I was like, you must be telling the truth. Like, you're just not good at explaining how awesome you are. Because, like, it took me a long time also. Most of the time I feel just humbled by my own qualities, my own, I'm just, you know, like in that way that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So... I've slowly through talking to people, I've been like, oh, okay, like I did this, I did that, I did this. Like some people around me are like a little, I don't want to say they're boring, but like they don't have the same desires that I do. They don't seek these things. They're not looking, they never do something for the story.
Yeah.
I don't say that's all I do, but I'll fucking do that sometimes. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I honestly think he's... Like, I see him as someone very intelligent, so I assume there's a reason behind it. And that's what I used to do with that other Christopher guy that I was saying before. He was so smart to me that when he said something, I worked backwards, pretending he was telling the truth. I'm like, you must be right. Yeah. But I understand what you're getting at. I guess we could try to focus on that. I'm like a little hyper.
Just the whole... It's all good, man. The camera's here. It's a little bit different, but it's all good.
I quit. I fucked it up, guys.
No, but that whole thing of self-talk and like the way I put it is, so I'll just give some context. I had a massage gig the other day. It's like my side thing. Well, not side thing. One of my main jobs is I'm a massage therapist, and so I had
really good, by the way.
Thank you, brother.
I've had a lot of massages in my life, man.
So see, like that can tie into in my mind I suck. And like that's just constant talk in my mind. I'm working through and unprogramming those mechanisms, but that's a constant chatter in everything I do. But just massage specifically right now for this example, that's an ongoing thing. So I had a couples massage, so I got another therapist to come in. So we did it at the same time, 90 minutes. They both got the massage at the same time. And when we went to the washroom to go wash our hands after, we stay there until they get changed. We come out and greet them. He was in the washroom. He was like, "Fuck, I suck. Like I fucked up bad. I messed up her left arm. I fucked up." He was just in a bad state. I'm like, dude, like you can't go back out like this. Like cheer up. I'm like, but in the back of my mind, like you can't go to them like arms crossed.
Bad PR, bro. Yeah.
You can't go back to them arms crossed like.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
So like, arms crossed. Massage me. Yeah. I'm giving you money.
Like you gotta be like that positive figure because you gotta talk to them after. They're gonna be in a different state.
That's so funny.
So I was telling him, I'm like,
I was just like that too.
Yeah, but from experience, I
was starting out. Yeah. Okay. I'm doing it again. Okay.
From the experience that I've had throughout the years of massaging people, that chatter's always there, but it's always wrong.
I just remember the cameras there.
Doesn't matter, man.
It's always wrong?
Sorry? It's almost always wrong, that chatter in your mind that I fucked up.
Okay, we got to talk about that then, because...
Sorry?
We got to talk about that then, because
let's dissect it, but for this example is when he went back out, they were... they booked another one. They loved it. So...
Oh, so he
fucking... Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That self-chatter
is like,
can create this pattern of thinking of guilt and shame on yourself. And it puts you down this loop that you start convincing yourself you're shit. To the point where you won't even practice the art because you think you're such shit. And it's like, this applies to so many things. I'm so fucking bad, I'm not getting involved in this.
Oh my God, I do that so much
Bro,
without realizing
so when you start recognizing these patterns and noticing, okay, the way I gave it to him, because we were on the drive back, I'm kind of a little bit over the place, but it's going to make sense. When we were driving back, I told him, I'm like, picture it as if you were teaching a student. If you went to your student after their massage and you say, you fucking suck, this is garbage, get the fuck out of here, you're horrible, your client hated it. Your student's not going to want to learn from you. But if you go to your student and say, you know what, it wasn't bad, but let's try this a little bit better, let's work on this, and let's improve, you're going to want to keep learning from that teacher. Yeah. But why with ourselves does all of a sudden we're okay to talk to ourselves that way? And smash yourself down to the point where you're not learning from that, you're just taking guilt and you're just shaming yourself. It's like that self-talk is a mechanism for failure.
Yeah, I never saw it that way. I mean, it seems obvious when you say it now, but I just see it. I see so much, like the why bother in Sami is strong. Let's put it that way. I needed to be convinced. I'm convinced myself sometimes, but it's like the podcast and music in general. Like I've been playing music a little bit for my entire life. I never sat down and got really good at any one instrument or anything like that. And now I'm just kind of like obsessed with singing, and I need encouragement. I sing, it feeds me, and it's like I don't get it from myself often, because it's always like as soon as I get good or I have a good day, that bar gets raised, the expectation gets pushed up, and that's what I confuse with success. Is like, oh, I was able to do that, and then the second it drops, it's not where for me that's a failure. For me, I'm hearing myself sing. I have a really good idea. I can hear my tone really well. Yeah. And I just go, that was off. I'm trying to not hear that was off in the middle of me singing, like that kind of
do
thing.
it afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, there's a big like observer meditation thing to tie into what you said, because like who treats themselves as a student and thus the teacher? It's like it's just me, and I'm invested in what I'm creating, and if I fail, I fail. Yeah. I'm a failure. Like it's this kind of connection to everything, but there's all this crazy duality in there that's unnecessary, and it's like no, you are the teacher, you are the student, you're learning, and you're telling yourself to learn, you're telling yourself how to learn, and how you criticize yourself, how you contextualize the entire experience is going to govern how much you want to continue and blah blah blah. Like
absolutely, man. And that kind of self-talk is a mechanism that's strongly built from birth and onwards. It's just patterns that you've created, so it's a lot of unprogramming. But you have to think, if you're in a place where, and I'm realizing this because I was seeing, because he could have been light years ahead in massage at this point in his life, but it's taking a step back. It could be anything. I'm just talking as massage, for example. But
it's always good to have a solid example, especially a recent experience.
Yeah. Like that's why it's so fresh, but it applies for everything. But when you have that mindset of like, oh, I suck, to the point where it's really bad and it's like shameful, it's like you don't even want to practice anymore because you've smashed yourself so low. So it's like... It's
kind of what happened to me with massage, of all things.
Yeah.
I mean, and we'll talk about it later, I guess.
But so exactly. And then it's like this spiral effect downwards. And then we had Mikey on where we're talking about facing the uncomfort, crossing that line, going in those, even with Mark saying he loves being uncomfortable, it's like you're taking that momentum but going in the opposite direction, and it's fucking uncomfort, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden you're good and you don't even realize it, that all those fucking achievements added up.
Yeah, not a shift in perspective, a flip in perspective.
Yes.
Like instead of going away from the aversion, you're like, no, that could make me stronger. I could learn something. And you don't even care how you're going to feel. Or like we were talking about with Mike, you're aware that if you don't do it, then in the future, it's like you're investing in regret.
Yeah.
So then it's like a kind of good fear. You're like, I'm just experienced. I'm just knowledgeable. I know I have to do this to be happy, to be satisfied in the long run. That's what, like, I mean, back to my massage experience again, like I was kind of like traumatized. I just like that the 5-month intensive course turned into this 1.5 years of garbage. And I just learned to hate massaging. And I got really fed up with it. But I pushed that year extra because of that regret avoidance mechanism, whatever you want to call it, Yeah. And now I have a skill. I don't have the certification, but like I massage my girl sometimes and she really likes it. And I realize I've learned a lot. Yeah. Dude, if all of that just to fucking meet you and to meet Ramsey, bro, and then now Ramsey's dating Gina, and now I can massage my girl, all worth it.
There you go,
worth
man.
$4,000 or whatever, $5,000.
Bro, worth more if you really break it down to what this will become too.
That's a good point.
And then it's like...
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And the friendships are invaluable. I mean, like
I agree
Ramsey,
with you.
We've got to get Ramsey on the podcast. If only
so all three of us can chill. Like after also. We'll get it on a Tuesday.
We'll book a fucking whole day. We'll go for dinner or something.
Yeah, man. And then me, you, and him will go break our necks at this spot. We'll go fucking do some fucking
parkour.
Some free running shit, man.
Hell yeah.
Dude, you gotta see this guy do a front flip off a fucking like 15-story, or no, like 15 foot, like it's like a story. It's like a story and a half. It's like a house. He puts a mat down. He freaks out for like 5 minutes, and he just fucking does it. But he's like an ox, right? Yeah. Mixed with a ninja. Yeah. So he just goes like, and you're like, huh? And he goes, that didn't feel good. And he does it again. Like he's trying to get the fear out, you know?
That's
like
what I'm talking about, man. Versus, and it's just
Ramsey doesn't have any of that shit that we're talking about. I mean, he does sometimes.
Maybe he does, but he doesn't bring it to the surface. He just works through it.
He doesn't share it.
Yeah,
he's like a natural manifesting human. He thinks a lot about the energy he puts out. Like, dude, I don't know how aware he is of it all the time. It's just maybe like a reflex now, or maybe he's just like really on the ball. Which for me, I don't know. Like, I hope not, because for me that seems stressful. But maybe it isn't for him. He's just paying attention. He's got his eyes open. You know, when you have his attention, you have all his attention. He's one of those. You can tell when he's not paying attention because he's not. Most humans, we're not multitaskers, you know. But like, fuck, man, he's
nice.
He's parkouring even when he's talking. You know, he's like,
there you go. Yeah.
Oh, you said this? Okay, I'm gonna say this. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh,
there you go.
Kong jump.
But that's like him getting good at that craft is just constant. It's such a simple formula. It's just do the work, reps, and it's just constant. You want a muscle to grow, do the reps. You want this to work, do the reps. And it's the simplest formula, but our minds get so fucked up and confused. And it's like going left, right, to all sorts of twisty lines to get there. But either way, if it's all a twist and you still get to the destination, it's a job well done.
Yeah.
But if you get tied up in those spirals and just go the opposite direction, it's just chaos. And
yeah,
I was talking to my buddy. We were driving back, and he was like, at some level, maybe he's afraid of success. And he was saying, I don't know. I guess I'm afraid of success. I can't picture me being successful and this. And I like snipped it right there. I'm like, that's the problem. The mindset is success as a destination. I was telling you about this. It's like you're visualizing a moment where you're going to put your legs up and really like, I fucking did this. Yeah, I'm here. Success. But success has nothing to do with that. That's an illusion. What a success is everything what we're doing right now with the podcast. We're adding like success blocks to the fucking temple we're building. And before you know it, we're going to look back and there's this fucking temple that you've created, and that's success. But even then, it's not finished. You have to constantly maintain it and build it and feed it and grow it. And there's never a moment where you've reached this aha, like now I'm here. It's just this constant work. But we're all in this illusion that like, oh, I won't be successful.
All the aha moments I ever had were detrimental to my success later on.
Yeah.
I pretended I crossed some bullshit invisible finish line and I relaxed. And I can't do that anymore.
There's the comfort zone, and then you start falling back.
Comfort zone. It's like these like throws, you know, these bursts, these critical mass emotional moments, these bursts. It's a good word. Throws are a good word too. Like these, you know, and then you cross some point. You force yourself, or you're in some kind of passion kind of spiral, and then you get the thing or the place or the whatever, and then it's almost like you've been forcing yourself just to kind of break the surface, and then you relax back, and it's like there's a momentum there's a bunch of stuff you learned, and if you think of things that way, maybe you wouldn't do that passionate chase. You would do a little bit all the time, but you kind of have to build that avenue. You can't like a lot of people's lives are just based on that. They do these bursts, and then maybe that becomes the norm. I don't know. There's so many like variations, but for me, I really am noticing. I used to obsess, like the way Robin was saying to me today. Like he's an obsessive character, and he'll just get into something deeply. It seems to work for him. I don't know. He and his wife. I asked him like, as long as the wife's okay with it, and he's like, she's really cool. She'll jump in with me. You know, like
nice.
That's really all you need. If it's not fucking up your life, then it's only enhancing your experience, right? In my case, it's fucking up my life, or it used to. I just learned from experience. I would just fucking chase the fucking dragon, like I'm using that heroin analogy on purpose, because it's like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why. I just know it feels good, and it doesn't even feel good anymore. I just trying to get the feel good, and I think that's the way eventually. And it was the same thing with a lot of jobs. It was the same thing with massage. Like I couldn't let off, man. When I stopped, I was so happy. But it's like so much money has been invested. A lot of it was my mom's money also. So it's like there was a lot of karma in there. A lot of shit was wrapped up in there.
Yeah.
And I just said, like, I am burning my brain out. I don't have a lot of resistance to this kind of stuff. And 5 months turns into an extra year of me fucking spending money, schlepping back and forth because I fucking live in Laval and I got to go like wherever that stupid school was.
Yeah.
And then they're like, fucking, they charge me for a bunch of random shit. They tell me I need to bring a body. I need to bring people to massage.
But also, maybe you just really weren't into it. Maybe it's the bottom line is like...
every time I massage somebody, I realize again how much I actually really enjoy it. But I did not, whatever I enjoy out of it was not worth that struggle.
Okay.
But I got something out of that struggle. I just realized now as well, a second thing I got resistance. I learned my limits. I'm glad I just went and learned, because a lot in my life I didn't push like that. I didn't like push till I was like red in the head kind of thing. Like I just went, oh, that's too hard. Next. Like the why bother is strong in Sami, like I said before. But here I was like, no, there's so many reasons why not. Like, why not bother? You know, like, why to bother? Why to keep pushing? And then there was just this glaring, like, dude, you're fucking hating life. You're waking up stressed. As soon as that happens, as soon as you fuck with my fucking... there's that little moment when you wake up and you don't know what the fuck's going on. You know what I'm talking about a little bit?
That's right before coffee for me.
Oh, okay, no, that's different. I'm talking about you wake up, you don't know your fucking name. You don't know what the fuck's going on. You don't know anything. You don't know if you're a guy or a girl.
Yeah.
You don't know anything. When I would wake up in that stressed, I go, something's got to change.
Okay.
Fuck you. Just fuck you. Whatever's going on. And that stayed with me and fucked up my other experiences because my body was just in a stress mode now. Anyway, I'm just ranting. I rant, bro. You got to do this sometimes. You got Sami, ranting.
It's all good.
And then I started convulsing because you stopped me.
Yeah. But hey, I mean, maybe I just still think that maybe that wasn't your thing. And now you're slowly finding your thing in other avenues.
Obviously wasn't. If it was, I would have fought for it.
Yeah.
Dude, my mom always tells me when I went to India, when I got my visa to go learn how to teach yoga, nothing could have stopped me.
Yeah.
She saw like a different version of me.
Yeah.
And I made it happen.
There you go, man.
I fucking made it happen. I was on the calls on the phone, 24/7.
Yeah.
I was just figuring it out. There was no doubt. With massage, there wasn't a doubt either until a bunch of fucking problems started coming in. And then them doubts got nice and loud. And I just said, this is bullshit. Fuck you. There's probably a limit with everything just based on your experiences in the past, like your resistances, you know, like just how fortified are you? But yeah, man, it's not for me, I guess. But I'm glad I did it.
Yeah. Well, bro, if you're telling me the outcome is what this wouldn't have happened without it. You know, this isn't big yet, but this is the way it's heading.
It's big for me, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad if people like it, but it's big for me. I love it.
Yeah.
I just love it.
I know. And like, bro, it's manifesting. But this whole experience would not have happened. And that's had you never did that course. And now if I have never did that course. And now that comes to I mentioned this probably in podcast 4 or something, whatever. Or what, I don't remember which one. But like, for you to be in this present moment right now, and like this exact Sami, you have to come to an acceptance that everything that happened prior had to happen for this moment to exist. And that's a tough pill to swallow when you really unpack that. But that's the reality.
I think it's an easier pill. I've been thinking that way lately a lot because I just, like I said at the beginning, like a lot of stuff's going good. Yeah.
You know, and but it all, like, there was moments of really shit, moments of fucking, I hate myself. But all those moments had to have happened for this moment to be here.
And it got me here. It literally got me.
It literally got you here.
I can see there's a lot of things that I would have picked out of today's Sami life because past Sami just had less gratitude and more complaining. And now, because of real things, like, proportionally speaking, you know, there's always worse. But I started getting some more real problems in my life. I mean, like, I still don't even have that hard of a life. But the fact that I can really feel that way, really actually in my fucking nutsack be like, oh, my life's fucking easy.
Nice.
My parents have been carrying my ass for 90% of my life. Like my job's awesome. My fucking health is awesome. like working at the hospital and seeing a bunch of people like really being in a bad way with fucking tubes sticking out of them,
That
and
wasn't
their
for you.
heart crushed open, like their chest busted open.
Yeah.
They're fucking calling code lavenders every 10 seconds, which means like a fucking kid's heart stopped somewhere.
Code Lavender.
Yeah.
Oof.
It's rough, man. I couldn't handle it.
Damn. Yeah, you were. I remember your energy back then. It was a little bit beaten down.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at
Yeah.
all. But I remember it, and that's one of the other shoes that I'm afraid are going to drop. It's kind of funny, but it's like because of that gratitude comes with a natural fear of something bad happening. But it's like I think I'll be a little bit more equipped now because I'm accepting something bad could happen, but I'm enjoying my time right now because it's just like a little more.
What is that
Push.
mechanism? When things are going good, it's that little fucking voice of doubt or the pessimistic part of our mind that's like, oh yeah, this is good, but some shit's gonna happen. What is that? Is this craving for chaos that we all want?
Personally, I mean, if I ask myself honestly, I'd have to sit quietly for like a few minutes and give you an answer. But like I know logically that we're just like animals, and we're the apex survivor. We're not the apex predator. We're not the apex nothing. We're the fucking crazy ones who get pushed in off a boat and say, what's over there? You know, like, so anything that we can do, we will do. So that's part of our survival. But also we're animals. So we are just prone to remember the bad more than the good. And that's a common concept nowadays, which is good and bad because, you know, it shouldn't be taken for granted, but at least it's out there. But I think for me, that's what it is. It's harder to remember the good. It's harder to hold on to it and to really, like, that's why appreciation, literally, there's all these articles now. It rewires the brain, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, because it's wired one way.
Yeah.
Just from being born, from being a human, even in this safe, cushy, fucking nerfed society with our parents and everything. That's why literally, like what I'm talking about directly aligns with people who like coddle their children. If your kid has too much of an easy life, he's a dumbass. It's kind of what's happened to me. Well, I mean, I could have been worse, could have been better. I don't want to get into it, but like I keep saying, I had an easy life. It's not my parents' fault. They just loved me, and that was the way they loved me. I'm not blaming them, but if you can control a little difficulty and like keep them in that Jordan Peterson sweet spot where you're not too overwhelmed or too underwhelmed, and you're just learning all the time, then you're doing amazing, and it correlates.
Yeah.
Well, correlate's not the word, but it's the same mechanism.
Yeah.
It's the fact that we need challenge. It's just who we are. But there's a lot of range there. Challenge can be like a death or a dismemberment or a mental disorder.
That scale is endless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's crazy extremes we can go into. Like we talked about the Mathieu's fucking heroic backstory, you know?
Yeah. And surprising, I didn't know you never heard that story. So hearing it for the first time.
I wouldn't have forgot that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was intense.
Yeah. And coming back from that's like, in a way, it's some fucked up, weird, strange. Life is like this thing where it's like we dig ourselves holes, we climb out of it, then we dig a bigger hole, we climb out of it, as well as all the other things happening. But it's like sometimes the holes are dug for us and we fall into and we have to climb out of it. And then sometimes things are just going good. You just dig your own hole. You're like, fuck, I'm going back under. It's this like weird, but that's the only way growth really happens. It's so strange. It's like nothing good comes from a good moment. Well, I mean, no, let's reiterate. Good moments are amazing. But let's say you're fucking riding high, your job's successful, everything's successful, but there's no real lessons there, just appreciation and gratitude. It's that when everything's stripped from you and then you realize, holy fuck, and then you come out of that's where it's like all these lessons were just formed. And that's what I'm noticing. It's like through misery and through challenges, like when Mikey spoke about with his colitis, like there's two avenues. You can go further down the rabbit hole of hate and sadness, or you can fucking overcome it. But now all that wisdom attained from that misery, overcoming that misery, is applied to his life, and now it's added on to the next stage, to the next hole that he has to overcome.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the holes get so deep eventually, you hit water or gold or wherever you want the analogy to go, and you get shot out like by a fucking fountain of awesomeness.
It's usually the bigger the fucking trauma, the bigger that hole is. If you pull yourself out of it, you're on such a high mountain. You know,
That's it. The deeper that hole, the more likely you're going to strike water. You're going to make a
And
well
no
by
kidding.
accident.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, because maybe we need that at first. Most humans, maybe. I don't know. We could dissect it a little, but I think like it's this, like society in general just doesn't give us the challenge that we need. And that's why a lot of other podcasts that I really like, that you have talked about also, like they talk about how there's no like rites of passage anymore, and we don't realize when we're young anyway how important it is to like maintain family and to have things like Christmas or to have like bar mitzvahs or like.
Dude, my rite of passage was reading a script out of the Torah when I was 13 for my bar mitzvah.
Yeah,
And you
like
read that.
better
and
than nothing, maybe.
I
but,
don't
like,
even think so. And
no?
they're like, you're a man after this. Let's fucking celebrate.
Maybe it's worse because it's like pseudo. It's
like
like
that
upside down.
Yeah, there's a tribe. I don't know if it's in Africa or in Brazil. It's one of the native tribes. I think it might have been Brazil. And they have like a glove. I think when you're like 13 or 14.
Oh, the bullet ants?
It's loaded
That's
with.
a real one.
Yeah, and it's loaded. So bullet ant is basically, the bite apparently is one of the worst pains you can have. And
It's like third or fourth on all insects of the plant. Like it's crazy painful.
It's insane. They have a scale and it's really high up there. And it lasts hours to the point where you can be nauseous and even vomit and stuff like that.
Oh man, this one guy, they took him to the hospital. Like I saw some guy on YouTube. Dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. They're making him dance and stuff. Like it's a ceremony, right?
Yeah.
So he's just like this, like, and his fucking eyes are popping out of his head.
We're talking one ant, or he did the glove.
No, he did the
okay.
glove.
So
he was like, ah. And he's like,
Yeah.
and he's like trying to pull out, and they're like keeping it on him.
Oh, shit.
Dude, it was bad.
So that I'm talking about just one specific ant. Is the pain is so high on the scale. So what this tribe people do for the rite of passage for the boy to become a warrior and a man, they put a shit ton of these fucking ants in this glove. I think they like put this smoke that passes them out or fucks up their nervous system for a few hours.
Oh man.
So the ants are resting. They load it in this fucking glove. You put your hand in, and I guess it's both hands. I don't know if it's both.
Maybe
or one.
you don't have to. I don't know. He did both hands.
So you put it in both. You fucking wait till they wake up, and they just bite the shit out of you and sting the shit out of you. And that's supposed to be the stages of becoming a man and a warrior in that tribe. And they don't just do it once. I think they do it like 20 something times throughout your age time, that time. So
you become a man.
You're feeling the worst possible pain.
Yeah.
You have to overcome it because there's no avoidance. You're in it.
Wait, do women get to do it? Because I keep saying
I think
become a man.
I think it's a warrior tradition. So I think it's more predominantly for males.
I mean, if they give birth later in their life, that's probably crazy also, right?
Yeah. So
every woman becomes a man.
Yeah. But that's it, man. So that's a rite of passage.
Yeah, it is.
Like me reading a scripture in a nicely air-conditioned synagogue in the middle of summer, and then we have a feast, and then I make fucking $4 or $5 grand from all the guests donating money.
You know what though? Let me ask you something. Like, what were some real rites of passage in your life? Why are we where we are now? Why can I have a great time and be much less afraid about the other shoe dropping and really enjoy my time and be grateful?
A lot of the rites of passage came from martial arts, came from psychedelics.
Getting your ass kicked feels bad.
Kicked. But that's part of it, because it's the illusion of you gets beaten down to a pulp.
Yeah, man. I got kicked into a wall once, and I was like, huh. Like, that made me think.
Reality hit.
I just went, okay, people can do that.
See, I got away for a while because I was like this tough guy. So I never actually had a fight up until martial arts, but I was always like, no one messed with me because I had this persona, but it was an illusion because I never actually had a fist fight with someone.
Some guy fucking need you in the groin or something.
And then I go to H2O and I get my ass tapped over and over again, and I'm like, fuck, I suck. And I had to face the reality that my illusion of self, the ego that I thought was this monstrous beast, is a nobody. He's a white belt. He's a not even white belt at the time, just a shit ball, you know. And then when you come to terms with that over and over again, that's ego death. Humble comes out of this. All sorts of gratitude and appreciation and respect all form from those moments.
I wonder if that's why there's such a, like, I know obviously Rogan and a lot of that circle, let's say, like, had a lot of power in bringing jiu-jitsu to where it is now, and UFC in general, like, had the growing popularity, but there seems to be a draw towards jiu-jitsu specifically. Excuse me, guys. And that tasted good. And let's talk about drugs. And there's, I don't know, I wonder why. Like, maybe because, how do I put it into words? Maybe there's something slow about jiu-jitsu. You're still getting your ass kicked. You're still losing, quote unquote. But you're not like, there's aggression. If you're getting punched in the head, if you're getting kicked, if you're getting fucking Muay Thai clenched and the guy's cracking your ribs with his fucking knee, you want to bust his head. You want to win. You want to, and then you get thrown to the side. The guy says, okay, you lost, whatever. You want to practice harder. There's no humility. Yeah. It's rage. It's more ego. That's the way I felt with something like Taekwondo. Like, but with jiu-jitsu, maybe you're a little slower, a little more slowed down, a little more thoughtful, a little more like, why did I lose? Why? What am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? You're not just punching. You don't ask, why do I punch? I make a fist so I don't break my fingers, and I fucking hit you with it with my muscles so that you die. Like, this is 1 + 1 = 2. But jiu-jitsu is like long division. Jiu-jitsu is algebra. So you're there going like, huh. Yeah. And then when you lose, you go, what did I do wrong? And you're just flexing that muscle. What the fuck am I doing wrong? What the fuck am I doing wrong?
That's part of it. But the main reason why I think jiu-jitsu is there's a lot of ships steering towards jiu-jitsu right now is because the volume. You go in Muay Thai or Taekwondo, like sparring sessions are you can't do, some guys are savages. They'll do 30 rounds, whatever.
But they're losing brain cells.
The reality is you can't spar hard in Muay Thai or all that more than 1 or 2 times a week. Hard sparring. You can do technical striking. But jiu-jitsu, you can get in, you can spar with 5 to 10 people per night, every night of the week, at 100% trying to kill each other.
Reps, bro.
Yeah, and it's like you literally can go 100% to try to kill each other and come out almost injury-free. Maybe your arm hurts or something, but your brain's fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're a jackass,
yeah,
the guy just
with
good
training partners, you know. Yeah. But you're just getting tapped, and when that happens, you're getting tapped maybe 3-4 times a round. You know, you're not in a Muay Thai or something. When you get knocked out, which hopefully should never happen in training, if that happens,
you're still, a guy's an asshole, or you just get it heated or something. Like it happens, so and then you're out for a week.
Or concussion, you can be out for months. You know,
and I didn't think of it that way. It's math. Yeah. It's reps.
Again. So it's like, that 1 year Simple of jiu-jitsu, they call it the survival year. It's the white belts come in, they all tough, they watch it on TV, and I was one of those guys. And the whole year, I got my ass kicked by small guys, big guys, everything. Yeah,
I didn't last a fucking month. To be fair, I'd love to go again, but I got to find like the time and the money and it's just not right now. But at the time,
it's always there for you though.
Fuck, man, I was there, like the people were cool. I didn't even notice I was like sucking. Like it was just peripheral. It's like it was fun. I was learning something, but like it's just throw yourself into it, get thrown, you know, and then just one day you're. I mean, maybe it's a little more active and a little more cerebral as you go on. But the way I learn is do. Like I don't take notes in class because then I'm not paying attention, and if I'm not paying attention, I don't remember anything. But I barely remember anything anyway. So because I got to do the thing, you know, like that's a problem.
Well, jiu-jitsu is really theory apply, like in the moment, you know, and you do that so many times till it's second nature.
The 10th Planet School was so great too in Verdun because the guy would be like we'll run a drill or two. And it's like you're getting a little bit of theory. He'll talk around it a lot. He'll go, why are you doing this? Why are you not doing that, even though it looks like you could, because he could do this. And it gets a little, never gets too complicated, but it's like there's like a broad focus, if I can say that.
Yeah.
And then it's roll for the rest of the class. Just go fuck around. Doesn't matter. Try to do what we practiced. I'll come around. I'll give you some tips, but just go. Go. Just get messy, man. Just get in the dirt.
It's most of it is getting the reps in. Having the basic understanding of the technique, but at the beginning level, you need to just know very basics, but you need to be rolling and applying them in a stressful scenario, into sparring. That's why I think jiu-jitsu is so powerful, is because you're testing your theory. It's literally a scientific method. You learn it. You learn a technique. Okay, you learn a new technique that's brought to the jiu-jitsu community. Everyone sees it. Okay, we see this technique. We apply it in sparring thousands of times. It's tested by the peers. It's either good or bad or corrected or modified, and it's peer reviewed. It's literally a scientific approach to martial arts.
Yeah, maybe once again because you can. Oh, there's our time.
Okay.
Because you can practice so much, because you have that interaction with the other people, it becomes so insidious. It grows so much. You can apply the reps are, it's not only the quantity, but there's a person, you can learn kung fu or something, and it's an art.
Yeah.
You can watch YouTube videos and have a teacher correct your posture and but like a guy could just come in and like elbow you because he's taller or something, and there's a technique you're missing. Like jiu-jitsu is it's messy. You're always fucking with the other person.
Yeah.
And I mean, like to bring it back to the teacher thing that you said earlier, like you are your own guy. Like there's two in you. There's the observer and there's like the human, the meat body or something. So it's like you're constantly talking to yourself, and instead of having that peer review and that build up like in jiu-jitsu, like you're just like going, oh, that sucked, and that's the shitty teacher like we talked about. I'm trying to bring it back in a way that just...
Well, that's it. That's the only way. That's why they call it the survival year, because those with those shitty teachers that are like, you fucking suck, I'm never good at it, they end up stopping jiu-jitsu. They don't make it through the first year. And the ones that are like, what am I doing wrong here? And accountability. And then they start correcting. Okay, obviously he knows something more than me, so let's learn this. And then that's why maybe jiu-jitsu kind of gave me this mentality of being my own teacher. Because there's a technique, I don't know it. There's no other way out of this position but that technique. I need to learn that technique. So then I have to accept that I'm missing something in my arsenal, and I have to learn it. And then that keeps going. And that's how jiu-jitsu kind of forms this mindset that we're seeing. Most jiu-jitsu guys have a very similar mindset, because I guess it forces you to be your own teacher time after time.
Yeah. But once you realize that, then again, like non-duality, like you're the student also. If you see yourself as the teacher, if you act as the teacher, but like you feel like the student and you're just giving yourself the stick instead of the carrot all the time, then it's like, it's just this dynamic that exists inside you and you're not conscious of it. But if you just kind of observe both and kind of give love to both, then you can be like, look, you would never talk to a student that way.
Yes.
You don't realize that you're being the master right now. It kind of comes down to choice, and like accountability was a good word. Yeah. Because I tie accountability with guilt a lot. And it's like...
I did for a long time, man.
Really unnecessary.
No, it's the opposite. And that's a hard pill to swallow, because you can just use a third person as an example, an actual student. You would never teach a student that way.
You're not going to get anywhere.
No. So why is that work?
But the point of discouragement.
Yeah, but why internally all of a sudden that's the method that's supposed to be working? You know? It's the most fucked up thing. But I'm learning this. I'm seeing it. It's like, no, if you're teaching a student one way and it works, it has to be applied both ways to yourself as well.
Yeah.
You know, that's a really hard fucking practice.
I'm just sitting here now, and I just keep hearing the question in my head: what the fuck's the point of discouragement?
There's no point.
Any and all situations. What is the point of discouragement?
If you're a teacher and you discourage your students, they're not going to want to learn. Some will they have that fire genetics or bloodline karma from past, whatever. They'll work with it and push through it. But most, fuck you, I don't want to learn from you. You're putting me down.
Yeah.
But if you can find a squiggly way to approach them from a different angle that they resonates, boom, you got that student for life. That student's going to flourish.
And what's fucking deep, we should have ended on that though. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
but
we got to end it. But
yeah, what's deep is if you got the good student-teacher relationship within, then it doesn't matter if an external teacher is being
at all.
Shit.
Yeah,
because you're like, oh, that's just him. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna go.
Boom. Yeah,
pop,
man.
Pop. You know,
dude.
Let's talk about drugs.
Brother.
Stay curious, my chimps.
Boom.
Boom.
All right, guys. Peace and love. We love you all.